What's good, everyone, and welcome to a brand new edition of the World Class Hoops Podcast. Happy to be back on the mic for you guys. I'm your host, Chris Rouse, coming to you from my hometown of Chicago, Illinois. And clearly, I didn't come alone again. On today's edition of the World Class Hoops Podcast, I brought my co-host from Students to the Game, also the host of the Joe with Joe Morning Show, and also a Chicago Bulls fan and an avid basketball fan, Joseph Gregory. Welcome in, Joe. Woo!
Thank you. Man, so gracious. Taking the
I mean,
invitation.
I always got you on the show, man. But we got a full episode today. A lot of basketball, the 2021-22 NBA season preview. But first off, you from Chicago, I'm from Chicago, we in Chicago. Chicago is Champ City. We got some new champions. Yesterday, the Chicago Sky, the WNBA Champions, an 80-74 win over the Phoenix Mercury to get their first ever WNBA championship, led by, there you see, NBA Finals MVP Kalia Copper, but also a total team effort, man, with Candace Parker, Courtney Vandersloot, Allie Quigley. Let me get your thoughts on the Chicago Sky 2021 WNBA champs.
Don't forget the unsung hero Stevens inside doing the dirty work against these big shit you up against. And it's, John Kell Jones and Brittany Grinders in the world. So, yeah, man, just very proud of that whole group. James Wade doing a terrific job leading them as the coach. Candace Parker, it's all about coming home. An improbable run, like we talked about on Joe earlier this morning. 10 over 16 at 16. Like we knew they had a few injuries during the wave, but playing their best ball here in the postseason, gelling as a team, fighting off some tough single elimination assignments, and able to keep home.
And you got to give the Sky a lot of credit. For years, with the single elimination, I know they lost to Vegas a few years ago in the De'Erica Hamby 3. And then last year they lost in the first round. I can't remember if it was Minnesota or Dallas who sent them home in the first round last year right now. But they got axed in the first round the last 2 years in a single elimination. Now they get past it and then just dominating performances against Connecticut and then the biggest win in WNBA Finals history against Phoenix. What have you seen what the Sky have done around the city? What have you noticed about the support for the Sky around the city, especially since adding Candace Parker?
Well, adding Candace Parker, I think they gave us like the experience. A person that has been there with championship type a pedigree, somebody to follow. She was just been a real leader. We had the talent, but like we couldn't get over that one hump. So now we had like a real leader. We had like a real, somebody that we can go to now in these clutch moments. We can always lean on it. So I was gonna make the right basketball play and make the right, over in the huddle, saying the right thing or whatever, communicating whatever. And I think that just transformed to when she came back to the Sky, put the rest of the city on notice. And now with the way the city's blowing up, we look at the game, see stars like Justin Fields now coming to the game, see Chance the Rapper front row, you see the Bev players, see the other White Sox players while they doing they were making a playoff run or whatever. The celebrities from Chicago in general. So man, it was just a ticket to see. It was wonderful. And hopefully they can keep up their wonderful support. Hopefully the Bulls can feed off some of that stuff that's going on with the Sky and they can get right to it.
James Wade, prior to last season, signed a contract extension. He'll be the Chicago Sky through 2025. So hopefully a long window for the Chicago Sky. The defending champions led by James Wade, Candace Parker, Courtney Vandersloot, Kalia Copper, you see the finals MVP, Allie Quigley, Azurá Stevens. So a great effort from the Chicago Sky. Salute, baby. It's a Sky town. But on the men's side, a lot of excitement about what's going on at the United Center, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm an unbiased analyst, but I'm also a Bulls fan. That's why I got the jersey on, the customized jersey on. Because we got to talk about.
You're an analyst or a fanalist?
I'm a fanalist. I like that. I'm a fanalist. I like that. I'm a fanalist, man. Chris Rouse, your host, as you can see on my jersey, joined by my partner in crime here, Joseph Gregory. But we here to talk Bulls. We also here to talk NBA. But right now, let's get into the 2021-2022 Chicago Bulls. Perfect in the preseason. Let me get your preseason impressions.
It was good to see the guys gelling, like they're coming together kind of quick. It's a kind of a veteran group. You added veterans like DeRozan, you had a
Yeah,
veteran glue piece like Caruso's been in the league for a few years, played under the bright lights of LA with LeBron James being there. So
champion.
this won't be, yeah. So this he won't be in all this situation. DeMar DeRozan, well traveled, well seasoned.
Hmm.
Now you had Vucevic for a whole training camp. Lonzo Ball coming here after being in the league for a few years, having a high basketball IQ. So it was just good to see those guys really just, I guess, gel when they were on the court together and really just looking like they were playing on the string together, offensively and defense. Hopefully, be continuing that as when the season starts in a couple of months.
Now let me ask you one thing. One player I really specifically wanted to ask you about, and I know this is probably not the guy you thought I would ask you about, is Javontae Green. I thought in the fill-in starting role at the 4 with Patrick Williams out for those first 3 games, I thought he looked really good. A lot of versatility, his ability to shoot from the outside, his athleticism, had a nice dunk on Larry Markkinen. Considering we know Patrick Williams is going to start, he started the last game. What do you think, Javontae Green? Where do you think where he will fit on this Bulls team moving forward as the season begins?
I mean, when you look at this roster now, it seems like they're loaded with players that are around between 6'5" to 6'7" that can slash now, right? And Javontae Green is just one of those players that fits in that mold. Really could never get a chance in Boston like they really wanted him to. Behind the very young superstars, Tatum and Brown. So he's here now in the Bulls uniform. He's gonna try to make the most of it. You can see he's got a great shot. He's athletic.
Yeah,
You know, the three and D center forward. That's what's going on right now. Those are the type of players that you want on your roster right now. Those wings. So right now, that's definitely what they have right now. Is a lot of wings. It's gonna be a lot of minutes right there at the stretch 4 mix. You know what I'm saying? With, also Derrick Jones Jr. added to that. Pat Williams.
yeah.
So maybe those 3 guys right there, probably DeMar DeRozan even too. He played a little bit of that role in San Antonio. So we'll see. It'd be interesting to see how Billy Donovan comes together with this offense.
All right, now moving forward with the Bulls, I mean, when you look at the roster, it's kind of like they have a log jam in a few positions, especially in the at guard, like Io,
Yeah.
Devin Dotson, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo, Kobe White. You know, that's 7 guys right there. And then in the front court, it's like they got Williams, Simonovic, Bradley, Vucevic. Good balance. But one thing I noticed about this Bulls team is like a lot of the guys that play in the back court are wings. They can play in the front court. How do you think that versatility will help this Bulls team moving forward, especially considering Billy Donovan's play style had them top 10 in scoring last season?
But it definitely allows them to, I think, get into up-tempo basketball a little bit more fast, some easier shots on the offensive end. Most of the time with the Bulls, out of the 5 guys on the court, you're gonna have 4 guys that can just get the rebound and can just go themselves until they can virtually run the offense themselves. Where the Bulls like they're gonna be looking like, how they gonna be configured with Pat Williams probably at the 4. You saw him handle the ball a lot during summer league. Looks a lot more comfortable doing that now coming into season 2. Expecting him to really be that point forward role, playing
Yeah.
opposite of guys like Lonzo Ball and DeMar DeRozan, who are going to be able to share the ball with him and play off of him and let him know, hey, man, you can go now. So it's going to be fun to see this team, man, because it's the balance on the team. I think Zach LaVine can be a real MVP candidate. I really do. Because he's
Okay.
playing with some guys and like really proven. He's still going to have to be that, the alpha role in the room at the end of these games, I think.
Yeah.
But hopefully, if they play the right way, hopefully they'll be sitting on the bench at the end of a lot of these games, resting, getting ready for the next W. Because I thought that's what they should have been doing a lot last year. It was a chance to take teams out the box. They let them back in and blew a lot of games. So
Yeah.
hopefully that turns this time, up 10, up 8. They got a chance to get rid of the game. They can do it.
Now, when you look at the Bulls, a perfect preseason. I mean, the closest game they had was the one against Cleveland, where they won by 1 thanks to the Io game winner. Did you see anything that makes you think they need to improve upon this moving into the season? I know, small sample size, but anything that you think there's any area with a room for improvement for the Bulls?
Well, defensively, they're going to be
Mm-hmm.
small. Going to be smaller when we're talking about these lineups. They're definitely going to be smaller. So we want to just see him, I guess, scramble and communicate a little bit more. I think that's going to come with like playing the different combinations. We had Caruso out there with the bench group. You know what I'm saying? Probably going to play with some young guys like Simonovic, a veteran like Derrick Jones Jr., just getting that communication down as far as the switching. And, just that part, really. That's the biggest part, I think. We got a lot of new guys playing on a new coming to a team is the defensive part.
I think I'm with you on that. I agree with defense because the Bulls were one of the more atrocious teams to watch defensively last season. I mean, I remember the game against the Knicks where RJ Barrett was just going to work on Kobe White. So I agree with you on the defense, but I also think overconfidence kind of hurt them in the preseason because I thought the only reason Cleveland was close in that one game is because the Bulls have been blowing everybody out. They blew New Orleans out. They blew Cleveland out in the first two games. Then they beat Memphis on Friday. And I thought that game against Cleveland, they thought it was a little easier. Sometimes I see them make turnovers where they think maybe this is a little too easy for us. So I think maybe moving forward, that'll be something that I think they need to do. Ball control and defense, like you said. Now, a lot to be excited about, but also some storylines on this team. Is Kobe White going to be here this year? Zach LaVine's contract? I mean, are they a championship team, top 4 in the East? What is the biggest storyline? What are some of the biggest storylines for the Bulls in your mind moving forward as we get ready to start the season on Wednesday?
I think the Zach LaVine contract probably that's a fair assumption about this storyline. Definitely want to get him signed, get him extended. You see, guys, Jaren Jackson just got extended this morning for the Memphis Grizzlies. You see Bridges, he got extended yesterday. Money's starting to get put out. Guys, you got to get that money before, I guess the deadline is opening night or the first couple of weeks into the season, whatever. So, yeah, man, I think we definitely want to get that done because we want to let him know he's a major part of our future. But still wanting to give him the fair, I guess, market value for a player of his ilk, man. You know what I'm saying? Averaged 28 points a game last year. Keep telling him 50, 40, 87. Himself, he's been terrific. Team winning now. I figure the wins are finna be coming now with that. So we should be going to negotiations with a pretty good case.
All right, now let me ask you this. Chicago Bulls, 2021, 2022, record prediction. Yeah. Where are they finishing? What's the record going to look like? Where are they going to finish in the East? And by the way, why don't we just go ahead and segue into this? Let's go ahead and segue into the Eastern Conference. Let's start it off, man. The 2021-22 season preview for the NBA. Chicago Bulls, where do they finish in the East? What's the record?
Bulls.
I'm gonna tell you right now. It's 82.
49,
I'm gonna give them. I was gonna say 50 and 32. I got them 50 and 32. And honestly,
49 and 33.
Okay, that's fair. I got 50 and and 32.
You're only one game in front of me, so it's basically the
same. Right, basically the same, right? 50 and 32. But where do you got them ranking? I think they'll be a top 4 team in the East. But for me, it really comes down to Ben Simmons.
I got them five-ish. Because here's the thing about the East. Ben Simmons is like the elephant in the room.
Yes, he is.
I think everybody's probably out on Brooklyn 1, Milwaukee 2, or Milwaukee 1, Brooklyn 2, however you want to slice it. Kyrie Irving in this, will he be vaccinated? How many games he going to play? But before that, Ben Simmons is really the elephant in the room, right? Because Joel Embiid is like an unstoppable force. They were the number 1 seed last year in the playoffs. And they couldn't do what they needed to do against Atlanta in the second round. Now, I feel like Brooklyn, if healthy, and this guy is gonna play, we don't know. You know what I mean? We really don't know. Right. Kyrie Irving is just like unpredictable, unprecedented.
It's a roll of the dice. It's a roll of the dice.
Murky, still researching. It's a roll of the dice. But Brooklyn, Milwaukee, I would say Philly 3. We don't know what's going to go along with that. What are they doing there? I would say Miami 4.
Okay.
I want to see how they're going to gel with Kyle Lowry now. That's probably going to be definitely one of the tough. You don't want to fight them. And they're going to win the fight with Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker and Jimmy Butler and Big Face Kofi and Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo and Dwayne Dedman and all these dudes.
They got some bouncers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're gonna be a very physical team, I think, in the East. I think then I would have Atlanta.
Okay.
Then I have the Bulls, like right there.
So you got the Bulls about 6?
Yeah, 5th or 6th. I think they can battle the Hawks. I think that's a fluid situation with them and the Hawks. They can probably.
I agree. I got the Bulls 4th. I got the Bulls 4th and 5th, 4th, because the way I see it, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and Miami are all better than the Bulls. That's the way I see it. Just even with the rosters and the chemistries as they're built, I think Miami, Milwaukee, and Brooklyn are better. Philadelphia and the Bulls are the teams that are like battling for that 4 right now. I think it comes down to Ben Simmons in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Atlanta,
like, is he gonna get traded? Is he gonna get some more pieces? Is he gonna go play? I don't know.
And then I got Atlanta like right behind them. So me and you kind of got the same top 6. I think the Bulls, like I said, 4th or 5th, probably 4th, depending on Ben Simmons. I think even with Ben Simmons, I think that situation is taking a toll on that Philly locker room. And we might see Philly, not to say that I think that we will see them, but I wouldn't be surprised if Philly reverts to what we saw that year in the bubble, where they kind of struggled due to all the injuries and all the guys that, they had out when they went in the bubble with Ben Simmons out.
Mm-hmm.
Bulls top 5.
So then, like, after the Bulls, I had them like going like round 6 or 5th or 6th battling, and I would say 7 would probably be the Knicks. And my 8 would probably be the Celtics. I had to go to like 9, I would probably be talking about Wizards.
Charlotte.
Be like Hornets. Yeah, that's how that's. And you know what? And that whole, and you know how the East is. That whole 10 to 5. Yep. That could battle each other and be like 3 games apart by get to the end of the season. And I could be wrong. And I could be wrong by 3 games. They could be all jumbled up just like 3.5 games apart because you don't know how it's gonna go. Like I always say, what's gonna happen? Injuries gonna have an off season.
Exactly.
So once we start to help, we don't know how people gonna low manage people when they gonna not play people against certain people, thinking you can I could take a night off against so and so. No, you can't. Yeah. Charlotte gonna beat you if you don't play Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry. They can't just be resting. You're gonna lose that game. So that's gonna be a very interesting thing to see how that comes up. Not saying they're gonna do that.
Yeah, 7-10 in the East to me. I think 7-10 in the East is wide open because I think you're talking about New York, Charlotte, Indiana, Cleveland might be better. I think it's only 2 teams I think that won't be there. I think that'll be Detroit and Orlando. I just think they got an uphill battle in terms of rebuilding their rosters. So I think everybody else in the East is in play.
Caris LeVert's health. I mean, can he really be that dynamic duo guy with Malcolm Brogdon or even Big 3 with Domantas Sabonis? He can be healthy. You know what I'm saying? So his health. I think that's big for that Indiana roster.
I think Indiana adding Rick Carlisle will get him more structure in the locker room. I think last year with Nate Bjorkgren, they just had a lot of ups and downs. I mean, Bill Bano, one of the assistant coaches, got suspended one time last season. So I just think Indiana now that they have a little bit more structure at the top with Rick Carlisle, an experienced coach, you put him back in Indiana with kind of like some of the teams he had in Dallas, where he just let them do what they do. You got Malcolm Brogdon, who's a ball handler. Sabonis, who's a big man, an interior modern big man. So I think Indiana could be back in the hunt. Probably, if anything, I think Indiana will probably be the Knicks this year. So what the Knicks did last year, we might see Rick Carlisle do that with the Pacers.
Okay. I can see that, maybe. Tom Thibodeau-ish and Rick Carlisle, that parallel defensive hardcore, I guess, old school approach.
Right. I like Washington, but I don't know about that team, man. Like, you putting all of them together with Bradley Beal, and he seems like he's against the vaccine, so you don't know what's going to happen with him. And then, Cleveland has like Sexton and Garland and Kevin Love and Markkanen. The talent looks good, but I got to see them actually on the court, when they play together in the NBA season.
I like the Wizards as soon as they made that trade and got the pieces back they got combined with the people that they already had. But now, like you say, also with this, the vaccine, like gonna be one of the big storylines. To vax or not to vax? If you don't vax, how many games are you gonna miss, and where are you gonna miss them at, and where you gonna be able to play at? Only playing 37 games, only playing 57 games. This is gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
that situation is fluid because you feel like it's gonna be changing all the time. I mean, what if it gets to a point where can't have fans again. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we got to a point where we didn't have to wear masks, and now everybody's masking up again. Some places you can, some places you can't. So it's gonna be crazy with the mandates and what players get vaccinated and which players don't.
All right, now let me ask you now, who's winning the East? Who's winning the East? Brooklyn is the favorite. Brooklyn's the favorite right now. Milwaukee's the defending champs. Who's winning the East in 2022?
Brooklyn's gonna be healthy this year and they're gonna win the East.
Okay, I'm right there with you. If Kyrie plays, Brooklyn wins the East. If not, I think you'll see Miami probably sneak in and take Milwaukee out. Because Milwaukee, gotta remember, long run in the finals, and then Middleton and Holiday played in the Olympics. So I think that might hurt Milwaukee this year.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I was thinking the same thing about Miami and Milwaukee because they clashed those last couple of times. Now you see Miami bringing reinforcements with Kyle Lowry and
PJ Tucker.
And now a healthy Victor Oladipo also in that mix with Jimmy Butler. So it's gonna be very interesting.
On the other side of the country, the LA Lakers made the biggest the West. The Lakers made the biggest splash, man, with the trade for Russell Westbrook.
When don't they make the biggest
splash? Last year in the playoffs.
I'm sorry.
Last year in the playoffs.
When doesn't LeBron? I'm talking about in the off season. When doesn't LeBron make the biggest splash? If it ain't LeBron changing teams, and somebody gonna want to play with LeBron, it's always gonna be the biggest off-season splashes. It's gonna be the Lakers, especially when they feel like they in desperate mode. When they had the upset in the first round, you knew they was gonna be splashed. You knew that. You know Jamie Buss ain't thinking that.
I'm gonna tell you now. I know you picked Lakers Nets last year. I'm right there with you this year. Lakers Nets is my finals. But let's at least act like the rest of the West. Let's talk about the rest of the West. Like Golden State's back healthy. The Clippers don't have Kawhi.
That was last year. How you not picking them this year?
What? You picked them because you just said Lakers. You just said Lakers. What you talking about? All right, fine. But anyway, okay. I'm going Lakers Nets. I'm going Lakers Nets this year.
Okay.
In the rest of the West, let's see the rest of the West. Clippers have Kawhi out. The Warriors are back healthy. Jamal Murray's coming off the ACL after Jokic won MVP. Portland, Damian Lillard, I don't know. So what's some of the things you're looking at in the Western Conference this year? Who could possibly threaten the Lakers in the conference finals this year?
Phoenix, Lakers. Phoenix, Dallas, Denver.
Phoenix, Dallas, Denver. No love for Utah.
Wait, and that's depending on the Kawhi Leonard availability. Now, if he's available, oh yes, of course the Clippers will be in the mix. I think the Clippers will be in the mix, like right on the edge. I think them and Utah will be right on the edge. Because I feel like this about Dallas. I mean, damn, it's been a couple of years now. Look, it's been the second years. First 2 years have been Clippers, first round. Expected to take that step now. You change the coach. Okay, it was the coach. Jason Kidd, what you gonna do, man? You say you ready to get this good job and be ready to deal with these people. They already ready. They already seasoned. They just need to get pushed over the hump a little bit. So it's very interesting to see how that transpires in Dallas. Denver, the Joker's great. I don't think they'll have enough though to really super challenge. They could stay in the mix for a while. I mean, Jamal Murray, I don't think we're going to see the real Jamal Murray this year. I do believe in the development of Michael Porter Jr., though, to be a Robin to the Batman of the Joker to keep them relevant in the West. And Phoenix, DeAndre Ayton now with a little help. The JaVale McGee acquisition.
Yep.
Another big man right there.
Extension for Bridges yesterday.
Yes, extension for Bridges. Another year with Chris Paul as well. So they should be right back in it. Devin Booker, you already know what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it ain't no love for Utah. It's just like they're also in that mix. Probably I got them like right up under there because I mean, at the end of the day, you got Jordan Clarkson to go with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. I feel like that's like almost So where's the rest of the offense coming from? I know you shot
Conley and
great from
Ingles.
three.
Conley and Ingles with the
And
outside
you
shooting.
shot great from three in the regular season, but once we get to this postseason, that stuff kind of was bogging down on them. The game started to slow down. Games get on top of each other. So I think they can still be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? They'll be all jumbled up again like the East. They'll be 1 and 2 games apart. 2 and 6 would be 3.5 games. And percentage, they'll be like that all year again in the West. But as far as who's going to win the West?
Yeah, first off, before you say that, anybody in the West that might surprise you, Sacramento, can they end that 15, 16-year playoff drought this year? Or Minnesota, can they make a run with a full year of D'Lo, Edwards, and Cat? Like anybody, New Orleans with no Zion for the first 2 weeks, likely. Any of those teams near the bottom that strike you as, hey, maybe they'll get in the playoffs, not win it all.
We've been waiting. We've been waiting on Sacramento. They're like the Chicago Bulls of the East. I mean, the West. They're like the Chicago. We've been waiting on them. They're like the parallel bottom feeder. It just stays just below the AC. Can never get below higher than the 10 seed. They always be in the mix, like right around the All-Star break. They just fade away, and you don't hear from them again. They end up like 3 and 4, 5 games out, just good enough to get a lottery pick, but not a real solid lottery pick. Always good enough to get like an 8th or 9th. You know what I'm saying? Always end up with like the 8th or 9th pick. Mitchell was the 9th pick this year. He'd be good enough about just to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're like one of the better lottery teams. In a nice way, if I could say so.
Okay, so basically, no for any of those teams.
I mean, I don't see it right now. And you got Zion, like you say, Zion hurt right now. I mean, it's tough on Willie Green with his first job. You already lost Lonzo Ball. Now you lose. You do get Javontae Green in that mix, but you're gonna miss Zion for those first couple of weeks. Zion is a monster. I don't care what nobody says. He's been
I agree.
Unguardable. But you got to really watch that foot situation. You don't want them to just keep coming in and coming back out, re-aggravate. Want the team to get a real rhythm playing with them. But Brandon Ingram so really gonna have to step up for that New Orleans situation to really, I guess, take flight.
All right. So who's your pick? Who's your pick to win in the West, man? You said Nets in the East.
I said
going with the Lakers again. Yeah, no. So who you got in the West? You going to Lakers? You know you want to say Lakers.
I want to, but here's the thing. It's one thing. One thing that scares me about the Lakers, and the one thing that can only is health.
Yeah,
it's really the Anthony Davis. It's really the Anthony Davis health, which is like you just said. When you start bringing, all the guys that wear the button-ups to the party instead of the hoodies, you know what I'm saying?
Button-ups instead of hoodies.
They're going to want to stay out that late, you know what I'm saying? You got Carmelo, you bring in Russell Westbrook, Reza, bring back some guys that's in their 30s, a little longer than 2, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so hopefully they'll be able to withstand that. And hopefully Frank Vogel, they have a plan to manage that through the year, and they'll be ready to play in the end. But in the West, the Kawhi thing, this Kawhi thing is really weird.
I agree.
I would almost be leaning or swaying a little bit toward the Clippers if I knew you could tell me right now Kawhi Leonard is going to be playing at the end of the year.
Exactly. I would too, honestly.
The sense is such an unknown. Right now, then you say, and I can also say, if Anthony Davis be healthy, which he wasn't at the end of the year.
Injuries don't take an off season, man. You say that all the time.
They don't. But the thing is about them, you can't predict them.
You can't predict them.
Well, I would say Phoenix, but I know Chris Paul will get hurt sometime during the postseason. I don't know if it's going to be COVID or a hand or something. It'll be something. So with all that being said and everybody evenly bandaged up, I guess you can
go ahead, say Lakers, man.
Club.
Lakers. I would say hey, I'll be real with you. I would say Clippers too, because I thought that run they had last year was impressive. I also picked them to go to the finals. But you talk about ACL. Yeah, you're talking about ACL, man. I don't know about that.
Yeah, they bring everybody back, but yeah, that part of it, I would probably go with the Lakers.
All right, so you
But
and
we'll
I are
see.
one of the same.
Now, if you ask me which of these picks I feel the best about, I feel better about the Brooklyn.
I do too. I do too. I think the West is wide open, man. I think the West can be wide open because you don't really know what's gonna happen with the Lakers in terms of like you said, the injuries gelling together. And then, like you said with Kawhi, I think the Clippers could make a run if Kawhi was healthy. And then the West is jumbled up, but a lot of the other teams also had injuries. So the West is wide open. I'm right there with you, but I'm going with Nets Lakers, man. That's my pick as well for the 2021-2022 NBA Finals. Some people seem to think Kevin Durant might be MVP next year. Let's get into some of these award predictions, man. Who are some of your award picks, man? Let's start it off with the most valuable. KD taking it home this year?
Only if James Harden beat him out. Very possible. I would say Kevin Durant. I don't want to say another Brooklyn neck that high.
Yeah. I can't
picked
put a
Luka
Laker in there.
last year. Trae Young is going to be an interesting candidate because of the run that Atlanta had last year in the playoffs. But for number 2, let's go Joel Embiid.
Oh, okay.
Embiid. Let's go with Joel Embiid behind Durant. I know he's going to be motivated. He's going to be motivated by the Joker getting it. I think he's a self-motivated guy. Plus, he's going to get tired about hearing all this Ben Simmons shit. Sorry if I'm cursing on your show.
It's all good.
But damn, I mean, they got to fix that. But hey, we just wonder what Joel Embiid look like if he can be healthy. And what he looked like was a very dominant player that nobody could really have an answer as far as guarding. So Joel Embiid behind Kevin Durant. I'm gonna go with Zach LaVine. It'd be my third one on that list. I'm gonna put Luka behind.
All right. I'm gonna go with. You gonna put him like fourth?
Yeah, that would be that's how I feel like the MVP stuff will end up right.
I want to put LeBron back in there for another MVP, but with AD and Westbrook, that's gonna be tough. So I'm going with Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant's taking MVP. Look for Giannis, and I don't want to say Jokic. So I'm going to say Luka. So Giannis and Luka. They'll be the two that go there with Kevin Durant for that MVP this year. Rookie of the year, man. Jalen Green for me. Who you
got? Suggs really hasn't impressed really too much during the preseason. I would have liked to say him because these guards gonna get a lot of usage, so he will get all those minutes and get a lot of opportunities. Let's go with Cade Cunningham, Cowboy up. I think he's going to embrace. He's embracing Detroit. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games, but he is going to make them an exciting team. And he's going to have the keys to the car. He's going to be right in that mode with a high usage rate. That 6'8", 230-ish guy that's going to have the ball in his hands. He's making a lot of decisions. I expect a lot of doubles from him as far as high points, high assists, high points, high rebounds, high assists. I think it's going to be an easily 25-5 average type of guy, 26-6 or something to that extent. So, 1K kind of.
Coach of the year. By the way, I'm going with Jalen Green because he seemed hungry. So Jalen Green seemed like he's ready for it, man. Coach of the year, man. Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan gets my pick for Coach of the year. Who you got? I think Billy Donovan gonna have this Bulls team looking really good, and he'll win Coach of the Year this year. 50 wins for the Bulls.
I think he'll be in the mix along with Nate McMillan, and maybe if the Dallas can look really good and be in like one of those top 2 or 3 spots in the West, Jason Kidd, new kid on the block, getting that job.
You know what the Bulls remind me of? The Bulls kind of remind me of some of them Atlanta teams in the mid 2010s, where it's like they're really good and they could probably get that top spot in the East. But also I could see them possibly losing just because some of the other teams in the East are so good. But I think Billy Donovan had him right there near the top 4, if not top seed in the Eastern Conference this year. Defensive Player of the Year, man. It's gonna come down to 2 people for me: Miles Turner and Ben Simmons. Who you got?
I got Matisse Thybulle.
Okay.
So I got Tyrell. Gotta like playing defense. Gotta play multiple positions. I'm going with Tyrell. That's what I got.
Six man of the year. Who do you think it could be this year in the NBA?
Shout out to my good guy Stub. My good guy Stub keep telling me Alex Caruso is going to be a sixth man of the year candidate. It's going to average
But he like the eighth.
game.
But he like the eighth man.
14 to 15.
But he like the eighth man off the bench though.
That's what I was. Yeah, this is what my good guy Stub. I hear you laughing. I'm gonna tell him about your little troll laugh.
All I said is he's the eighth man. Kobe White is the sixth man, probably supposedly.
But he's hurt right now. He's gonna start off the season hurt with that eighth man, but you laugh like he's laughing at you.
Caruso and Green. I think Caruso and Green. Hey, Caruso and Green more likely to be sixth man before Kobe White. That
sixth man of the year. I wonder will Montrezl Harrell have a little bit of a little bounce back down there in Washington
with the Wizards.
Yeah, with the Wizards. You always got lemon pepper Lou.
I'm gonna tell you who I got, man. Derrick Rose. I think Derrick Rose is gonna take it this year. Because New York has three guys in front of him, and Kemba, Fournier, and RJ Barrett. And Derrick Rose, I think he's still gonna play at a high level this year. So I think D Rose will take the sixth man this year. He's my pick to win it for the Knicks.
It's a great pick. The only thing I can say is
wish you thought of that. That's no thing to say.
I don't have one.
All right, that's cool. So Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl
Harrell.
All right. All right, and most improved, man. Who do you think could break out this year, man? Who do you think is gonna make a step, and probably surprise us all this year, man? Who you got for most improved?
Let's go with somebody super off the radar.
You like seriously? I'm trying to think of people in Sacramento and Minnesota.
OG Anunoby for Toronto.
OG Anunoby, wow. I didn't see that coming.
Gonna be healthy all year, and now Kyle Lowry isn't in the building. I think he got a little bit more of a chemistry there with Fred VanVleet. Nick Nurse is a pretty good coach since he's been there. That's what I'm going with. Off the radar.
You know who I want to go with, but I know he won't win it because he plays for Orlando. Cole Anthony. I think Cole Anthony could be most improved player this year, but I don't think that'll happen because he's playing for the Orlando Magic. So I think most improved player this year is going to go to one of the two guys that play for the Charlotte Hornets. It's either going to go to Miles Bridges or
LaMelo,
Terry Rozier. And Charlotte to get into the playoffs probably be a 7 seed this year. So one of those two guys.
I thought you were gonna say LaMelo.
LaMelo. Now, LaMelo won Rookie of the Year. Can you really improve after you win Rookie of the Year? Like you got to take a quantum leap to do that. But yeah,
don't doubt him. Might be quantum.
You're right. But I really want to say Cole Anthony, but I just think Orlando is gonna be too bad for him to get it. So Cole Anthony. So that's our picks, man. So that's our picks, man. Those are our picks, bro. So this is the 2021-2022 NBA season preview. We talked Sky, we talked the Bulls, we talked NBA. The Bulls begin their season on Wednesday, Joe, against the Detroit Pistons, 6 p.m. Central Time. Final thoughts on that. Final previewing thoughts before we get out of here.
I know the schedule isn't too daunting at the beginning. Like to see those guys jail during that period and start developing some winning habits on through those first 10 contests. I think they really get into the meat of that schedule, like the second 10 games, and you start seeing teams like Brooklyn and Miami and everything. So once they get off to a good start, Detroit like a good place to do that, and see red. Let's go Bulls. One thing I can't get behind for in this city in Chicago basketball. See Red. Let's go, Bulls.
Yes, sir.
Come together. You can be on the same side about that. See Red. Let's go, Bulls. We could be on the same side about that. See Red. We could be on the same side about that.
See Red, baby. See Red. Also, y'all can catch me on SportsTownChicago.com this season doing Windy City Bulls broadcast on radio. I'll be joined by Sam Brief, Chicago State basketball and Chicago Dogs baseball. He'll be joining me this year, so tune into that. Bulls start their season on Wednesday against the Pistons. Tomorrow, the NBA season begins with this doubleheader, 6:30, Bucks Nets, Lakers Warriors. Any thoughts on opening night? Last thoughts on opening night before we get out of here, man.
Last thoughts on opening night. As far as the Bulls opening night, I won't see it because I'll be on my way to the Wu-Tang concert. Raekwon, Ghostface, and Disney. So, but tomorrow, opening night, Bucks and the Nets. That should be terrific. I'm gonna go on with the Bucks because all the stuff going on with Kyrie. I don't even know if he's playing, and I don't even know what's going on with that. Lakers and the Warriors. That should be a great game. I'm gonna go with the Lakers in a close one, all the way to the end.
All right, so I'm gonna go. Actually, I got the Nets. I got the Nets silence in the Bucks. I got the Nets silence in the Bucks, man. I think Kevin Durant, he remembers his foot is the reason why he didn't win an NBA championship last year. So I think the Nets take this from the Bucks. Yeah, they don't fear the deer. And then the Lakers, I think the Lakers will beat the Warriors, man, just because the Warriors are trying to get back to normal. I got that wrong on the screen. It's definitely Warriors at Lakers, but the Lakers will host the Warriors tomorrow. So we'll see that. And I think the Lakers are taking it since they're at home. But then again, the Warriors could upset them. That's usually the type of game the Lakers lose, to give us all something to talk about for a week. So we'll see. But my pick is Lakers. Lakers Nets.
Okay.
So that'll do it, man. This is our 2021 NBA Finals NBA season preview. I'm already jumping to next May in June. This is our NBA 2022 NBA season preview. Joseph Gregory. Right. Thank you for stopping through, Joe. Final thoughts, man. One last message before you get up out of here, man.
Oh man, one last message, man. It's gonna be a terrific season.
Yes,
can't wait. Can't wait. It's just a terrific time in October when all the sports hit like this. You know what I'm saying? Hockey, baseball, playoffs, football every week. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna add the basketball to it. So let's get to it.
It's a great time of year. It's fall in Chicago. The NBA season begins. Once again, Joe, thank you for coming back to the World Class Hoops podcast. We'll have more content later this week and also next week, all throughout the season. This is the 2021-2022 NBA season preview. He's Joseph Gregory. I'm your host, Chris Rouse. This has been another presentation of the World Class Hoops podcast. Positive energy to you all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and salute to you, Joe, wherever y'all may be, man. Y'all have a good one, man. Thanks for tuning in.
No problem.